very, very, very important lesson, workshop, class. It's good if you write, it's good if you remember. We'll all come back always to the inner self and the inner guidance, you know. What are you, a Hilden? I like the hat. So the purpose is to take whatever it is that we learned and to try to prolong it. Sometimes we go to retreats like Vipassana, like things like that, and then when we go back home, it started like we forgot everything that we learned, you know, and we go back to our old habits. The reset in the process really helps, but we need to continue some of the habits, the new habits. So we're going to talk about that a lot. My suggestion or recommendation is to last at least between a month and a half and 2 months. Okay? You will feel whatever is appropriate for you, at least. And that means gradually introducing yourself from the liquidest liquid like you're doing right now, which is 20% juice and 80% water, slowly to heavier materials and see how you feel with it. Because you will see that right now you're hardly using the digestive. Hardly. It means that you're mostly drinking water, and this water is providing you with some energy, and the rest is just a little tiny bit, and the stomach doesn't have to do any work at all. Okay? Now if you jump immediately back to spaghetti, then that means it's really heavy for you, and it means that it will take you a lot of time. It will immediately ground you, and also your body is getting used to it, and your body is always asking for whatever it is that is easy for it. Always. The body is always in the comfort zone, so it makes everything taste much better. Like yesterday, your water tasted amazing, right? And the juice today tastes better than what it used to. And you have to get used to it. Everything from now on will probably taste better. You will see that you're fluctuating with your taste buds. Sometimes you feel like having things that you never even thought you want to have. And you have these amazing cravings. So I can tell you, sometimes say yes, sometimes say no. Some of you are very left mind oriented, so you will build yourself this schedule and see a certain date and say, until this date, these are my habits. Until these dates, I'm only juicing. Okay? I can tell you that at least 2 or 3 weeks, just juices.
Fruit juice.
Fruit juice, exactly. Not, you can occasionally have a vegetable juice. You will feel, you know, if it's too heavy for you. After that, introduce some shakes, meaning a little bit thicker. Now, don't be confused. Yeah, exactly, smooth. Don't be confused. You're not eating this shake. You're using just a very small part of that shake as energy, and the rest of it is still being nourished by the energy, by the prana, by this thing that you opened during this time here, and we're still opening it. Now think about it like a surgery. You went through a surgery, and now you are in the hospital waiting to recover. Okay? Yeah, exactly. You went down, and now it's slowly, every day you will feel a little bit better. You will play around with this energy, but in the beginning, nothing. And then slowly introduce yourself to more and more, and you will see that you want to taste new tastes. I don't know why you guys didn't mix any of the fruit juice yet. Usually it's the first thing the participants do. It's like, why do I need just the carrot, or just, let's mix it up. Oh my God, and this with a little bit of ginger, this, da. And then everybody's like, whoa, this is amazing, I never tasted it like that. So you will slowly introduce shakes. In the beginning, it's really important not to have any soup, salty soup, okay? At least a few days. And when you do, gradual. Make it really, really, really fine. Make it really, really liquid, okay? Because some people say they have these skin problems afterwards. It's not good because the body is just not used to having salt. And just like yesterday with the water, I slowly introduced something that is salty. After 3 weeks, play with it, see how much you feel like it, but always keep in your mind, don't have this schedule. Until now you had a schedule. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, night, breakfast, night, lunch, dinner. And now you don't really need to, okay? It's for your own enjoyment. So whatever it is that you feel that is still programmed, for waking up and having something, having that smoothie, having that cereal, whatever, make the deprogramming. I would recommend in the beginning not to drink it all. In the morning, even in the noon. You will see that you don't really need it. If you want something, have something light in the evening. And when you see that you're making this as a habit, it becomes much easier afterwards to continue this as a habit. And you will see you just won't be hungry. You feel like sort of like what you feel now. And then it's all about the mind games, you know? Yes, we'll have a lot of time for questions. A lot. I'll finish everything, and then if you still have questions, I'm going to be here until the night.
Okay, I have questions about this.
About this specific? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure.
So, you're saying a month and a half to 2 months
Mm-hmm.
for juice, fruit juices, but then I heard you say after 2 to 3 weeks you can
Shake.
vegetable juice and shake.
Yes, and soups.
And soups.
Yes.
So it's not a month and a half on fruit juice.
No.
It's a
No,
month and
it's a
half
liquid.
on liquids.
Exactly.
And so after 2 to 3 weeks fruit juice,
Mhm.
then you can add vegetable juice,
Mhm.
shakes and soups.
Exactly. And also it's always you will feel it, you know? You will feel when you had too much, and that's why we have the reset. The reset is once a week, dry fast for 24 hours. Whenever you feel like it. I usually had it in the beginning of the week, so it's easier because after that in the middle of the week you don't always feel like doing it. So my beginning of the week is Saturday night until Sunday night. For most of you I think it's Sunday night until Monday because your week begins on Mondays, right? So just think about the reset. Now you will see when you're playing around with it, some days you will drink more and then maybe you'll feel guilty because you say, I'm not a breatharian, I'm drinking too much and I'm using this as energy and I'm going to lose whatever it is that I learned during the process. And don't worry about this. It happens to everybody. Everyone has this guilt because they want to go all the way and then they play with it until they find the balance. I want you to remember, you came to the process to be detached. You came to the process to gain freedom. Freedom from your own thoughts, freedom from this addiction that you had, which is hunger, pretty much. So if you think that you're overthinking it, see exactly where that domino is and take it out of the equation. Say, okay, today I'm going to allow myself as much as I want. And you will drink and you will drink and you will drink and nothing's going to change, nothing's going to happen. And the day after say, okay, you know something, I really tried it. I took it out, this sensation that I need because you're not going to be fulfilled. You're going to drink as much as you want and the satisfaction of the old memory of being full, as in the opposite of hungry, is not going to come. So it is your own mastery to know when to say no, when to say I stop. You will see that you're drinking a whole bowl of soup and say, I can drink a whole bowl of soup, so say another one, and then you're not really going to be full. And just remember, many times it's not real. Like the sensation of I need something, it's just because you want to go up, go to the kitchen, you want to ceremony, make tea, you know, so you turn on the water heater and you wait and then you pull it, and sometimes all you need to do is go and fill a glass this much, just for your own sensation. And then drink in small sips. And if you're drinking your soup, take a teaspoon instead of using the big spoon. Just slowly, and you will start seeing that when you're sitting with other people, I'm sorry to say, but they will be like animals. They'll be hungry and cranky, and the food will come and say, oh my God, I'm so hungry, and then they'll eat it in like 10 minutes, and you can enjoy it for half an hour. You can sit, relax, enjoy every sip. The taste is in the mouth, it's in the tongue, it's not under, you know? Think about it like that. So how do I tell people? Who do I tell and do I tell? First, really, really, really gradual. In the beginning, most of us will keep it to themselves. It's easier that way. For me, my colleagues didn't know for at least 2 months. I just came normally to work and I told them I'm going on this special venture and I'm not eating lunch at all. And the whole day passed, and if they asked me, they'd say, yeah, I eat something small in the evening. And then nobody thought about it even. I just got them in the habit, you know? It's the habit. Because they're always judging you. Like, why aren't you coming to lunch with us? Oh my God, it's this restaurant, it just opened, look at the menu, and look, I just made this, my wife made this last night, you have to taste it. And then they come with a spoon, here. And I go, no, thank you, I'm fasting, or thank you, right now I'm raw vegan, thank you, I'm not hungry, which is the honest answer. That's like, and most people accept it, and some people won't, and you really have to like get them used to it. You know, tell them you're a crazy, healthy guy, and then they'll put you in that category. Oh, he's one of those crazy, healthy guys. You know, he has his own nutrition. We don't really understand that. Parents can be a problem. It's an individual problem. You know, each parent has a different level of how much they care for you, and everybody almost everybody is going to think that there's something wrong with you. Accept it. You cannot teach them what you have learned here in these 10 days. You cannot. You can tell them some of the advantages, you can make them see that you feel really good. You know, that you're okay, and look, my back doesn't hurt anymore, and look, I don't have these things around my mouth anymore, and I'm full of energy, and I sleep less, and I feel quite good. But you cannot explain to them, listen, when you eat less than this amount of calories, and your body is full of toxins, then it's more accessible for disease. And then you start all these things that I've been teaching you and talking to you about for the last 10 days. It's simply almost impossible. But those who do want to listen, they will hear, and they will ask questions. And then you can know. You know, it's like then you can know, you can explain a little bit more. But then again, each one has his own resistance level. Some of them, the hardest resistance level, or the one that is the fewest people, are the ones that can believe that a person can be sustained without food and without water. And after that, you can tell them just water. And after that is a little bit. And this is where most people are. You don't tell them, look, I'm a Breatharian, I don't need anything, because we haven't proven to ourselves that we don't need anything. I'm a Breatharian, I've taught my body how to be nourished mostly from energy and very little from food or external nutrition. And that is why I don't feel hunger anymore. That is why I can go days or even weeks without food and without drink, and I'll be okay. My body is just a little bit stronger than other people's body. I've trained him to be that way. So it means that I nourish myself mostly from energy. For those that wish to be in that resistance level, it's easier to explain it, because what you're actually saying is that the body is an amazing machine. The body can take very, very little and make a lot from it. And that makes sense. And that is where everybody will say, you know something, that makes sense. Because we see two people, one of them is eating a lot and the other one is eating nothing, and they look approximately the same and they're the same amount, you know. And usually what people will say, oh, it's the metabolism. It's the metabolism and different variables and different parameters, but one of them is the energetic intake. And if you really want to go deeper into the conversation, then tell them, do you remember when you felt in love and you didn't want to eat too much? And the days just passed really quickly, and everybody was in love one time in their life at least, and they will remember this. They'll say, you know something? When I'm really happy, I don't really think about food. I think about food because I go to work, and because I always have this routine that repeats itself, and because sometimes I'm not really happy. So I go to the refrigerator to check what's up. Maybe there's something there to make me feel better with myself. And you will also have this, only instead of emotional eating, you're going to have emotional drinking.
You already have it.
Yeah, just see, in the morning when you made the juice, you know, 20 people are sitting together. Food brings people together. So the juice brought you all together. Everybody was out there where we moved the sofas, you know, almost everyone, because food brings people together. And you might feel a little bit alienated. Here we're 20 strong, and out there everyone is by himself. And by ourselves it's hard, you know. And this is why the statistics are like that 50% really continue in this lifestyle and 50% go back to their old habits with the change. You know, obviously you cannot eat the same amount when you understand that you don't really need that much. But it's going to be a lot of games, mind games, of blaming yourself, taking it to a different level, this thing that I did that, but now I'm only eating junk because I don't need to eat anything that is healthy because my body has energy. And like I said before, like if Tal was here next to me, Tal would have told you, I only drink the best fruits or most organic stuff. And I can tell you, I told Leslie in the beginning of the week, just bring me that powdered soup, you know, and they just had powdered soup. It has absolutely no calories and a lot of taste. Just buckload of taste. Is it any good for my body? I don't know. I believe it is because it's good for me. And I always give this comparison between this small 10-year-old girl that has this amazing snack, whatever it is. It can be chocolate, it can be Oreo or whatever. And this guy that is a raw foodist for 2 years already, and he's already sick and tired of it, but he's forcing himself to eat this apple because he wants something else, but he's forcing himself and he's not completely happy with this apple. And this energy that the girl is going to get from that chocolate bar, from that Oreo, is much better for her body, than he's going to get from that apple. because he's feeling good, because she's feeling good with it and he is not. And you already saw how much it is about your belief. The people here that had a harder time are the people who thought they're going to have a harder time. If you were counting the hours, then it became harder. But when you distracted yourself, when you went to the pool, when you did the exercises, this is why in the 4th day there's the long exercise of 4 or 5 hours. It's a distraction, so you guys won't bother me by counting the hours and tell me, Ray, maybe not 4, maybe 3, maybe not 3, maybe 2.5, you know? And then that's why it passes quickly, much quickly. And just remember, don't focus on what not. Focus on what yes. Don't make yourself a schedule, because when you make yourself a schedule of, yes, I'm going to have my juice at 12:30 every day, then you will want to resist that schedule. Especially guys, we have an issue with commitment. Like, we don't like that, especially when you say something for the rest of our life. For me, after the 21-day process, for the first 6 months, I made a commitment. I said, okay, I'm going to stay only on liquids, and I played around with it. You know, I sometimes even took ice cream and I melted it a little bit in my mouth and I played with it. And I tried all these different things that you put on bread. Also, I was like, is this liquid? Is it not? Okay, I can make it into the bucket, you know? And playing around with it. And after 6 months, I saw that I'm still feeling really, really good. So I decided to do another 6 months. I asked myself, okay, from my own vision, my own perspective, every breatharian I know, those that I have taught and others, when they go to eat physical food, they never go back to juicing. Never. You're building up a resistance, okay? It means that you're judging, you're playing. And I thought to myself, okay, after 6 months, if now I eat, will I be able to go back? And I said, don't do it yet. Just don't do it yet. Wait. This is going to be a once in a lifetime experience. And also for you guys, this is the first time after 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60 years of your existence that you haven't eaten for so long. And you're doing all these exercises and your body is finally beginning to be more and more clean every day. And the clarity comes. It comes slowly, and it comes until gradually you get everything you can from this type of adventure. And everyone is going to have his own journey, and that's really amazing. So how do we tell people? Gradually. See which one will understand it and which one will not. And you can't go directly to the I'm not eating, I'm just juicing or whatever. They don't understand it. See if a person is more logical, then explain it to him in a logical way, you know? Tell them first there is the social evidence. There's people that did the television experiments and they show that it's feasible, and you are a person, that means it's feasible for you as well. Tell them that there's already thousands and tens of thousands of people that have done this process since the 1980s. We have no real numbers because there's no real big community. Even in Facebook groups and stuff like that, everyone has his own group, and we don't know who's really Breatharian, who's just interested in the lifestyle. We can't really know. I think that in a few years, when I had a personal session with Bashar, he said in about 50 years, 10% of the population will be Breatharians.
50 years.
50 years. That means that gradually more and more, and you guys are the pioneers. You guys are going to eat the shit. You guys are the vegans of the 1970s, the ones that everybody judged and nobody understood, and they thought they're going to die because they don't eat meat. And they won't be. Back in the day, they didn't know how to explain it, and even if they did, nobody believed them because it's a social thing. And today, everybody understands. Vegetarians, sometimes for compassion, sometimes for health. Vegans, they live longer, less disease. But that's today. So imagine how you're going to be. You are now the pioneers. Now remember, even if you go back to eating, you will see that you don't feel like eating as much as before, obviously. And I would still recommend eating the lighter foods and the raw foods, especially if you're nourished by the physical food. This process is something that you never need to do again. You may join it in the future time. Some people do it because they want to reinforce, they want to remind themselves, and the group really helps them. But you can always do it by yourself. 3 or 4 days, just a water fast, and you will feel that you're going back to the same level of pranic intake as before. Always.
Water fast, not dry fast.
You can do the dry fast as well, it won't make a difference. You will feel it either way. Because if you go back to eating a lot, then you become more full of toxins, and then you will need maybe slightly longer. So maybe do a day yes, day no, day yes, day no. It won't matter. You won't feel thirsty if it's such a short period of time. It won't be like what you had now, that it's completely dry. To be mostly like 2 days is easy. Third day maybe you'll slow down a little bit. But remember, it's like riding a bicycle. Your muscles remember. So the body already knows that it can do it, so you don't need to remind him again. About the first month and a half, which is a critical time, like I told you, the longer you prolong it, the easier it will be after. You can choose to go even longer than that, but you will see that you're finding balance. I think Leslie, for example, she's been 3 months now and she eats a few fruits a day. 5 months? Wow, really?
Yeah.
Time passes. She eats a few fruits a day. I eat a meal or 2 meals a week. Sometimes nothing at all, sometimes more. Sometimes I have a wedding. In the beginning, I was in a wedding and I didn't want to eat because everybody knew me as the guy from the television that doesn't eat, and I just didn't want to explain. But I'm Jewish, and then you pay so much money for the wedding as a gift, and they say, but fuck it, but I want to eat at least, enjoy this, So the first wedding I had last week, and I actually ate. Nobody asked me anything because it's been more than 2 years, so I'm really happy with that. Because I felt bad, You don't have the time to explain everyone what I'm explaining to you, so I don't want them to get the wrong impression. So if somebody comes and asks, say, yeah, I went back to eating. If he asks more, then I say, yeah, but I only eat like once or twice a week. And he says, what? Yeah, forget about it, it's not important. And if I go abroad, then I eat almost every day with my friends. I just try not to eat breakfast, not to eat lunch. If I eat something light with them in the evening. And I'm always like showing a person what is possible for him, because that's my duty here. So I don't mind skipping meals, and I don't mind eating less, as long as the people are like wow, how is that possible? We went snowboarding 2 weeks ago with 11 guys like ego and farting and talking bad stuff about girls and stuff like that, like real guys. And
Do you eat pasta also?
no, I don't like this. No, I don't eat the simple stuff anymore. I just eat the things that are, that I really like.
The desserts.
Yeah, no, not only the desserts. I like sushi, I enjoy eating. Falafel, I enjoy eating. But if somebody makes like bread with omelette, I'm like, nah, it's too simple. Somebody makes a salad, then it's just too simple, He eats it to feel himself and not to enjoy. So a restaurant would be good and nice and stuff like that. But I was setting an example. Snowboarding is a hard sport that we do every day. It's hard on the muscles, so they eat in the morning, and then after in the noon they go for some hot choco and French fries and have a lunch in the mountain, and everybody's tired, and after they eat, they're exhausted. So in the evening we come back to the room, and then they make something small, so I just join them for this something small. And in the morning they say like, you're not eating? In the first 2 days, no. And then they get used to it, and then afterwards, but they ask themselves, but how does he look so big? And how does he exercise? And how come he's not really hungry? And they ask all these conscious questions. So, for example, in the television show, in the beginning, we were in the jungle every day doing assignments, living out there, but there it's quite easy because you're full of prana all the time, from the animals and from the trees. So it was easy. But for me, it was about the social thing, because in those type of realities, the game is a social game. And when you are alienated from the table, and that's what most of the time they came back directly to cook and make something because everybody were exhausted from the busy day, and I felt a little bit on the side, and it wasn't good for me. So after about 4 days that I didn't eat, I just joined them every second day in the evening. So I always sat with them, I always had something small with me. For example, make some soup. So instead of having the soup with everything inside it, you just filter it, and then you have the liquid with the taste, like what you really want. And in the last week, it was so emotional because I really lasted almost until the end that I ate with them almost every day. And then I put it on the television. I talked to the other participants. They were really interested because for them it doesn't exist. It doesn't make sense. They come from all these families that put a lot of food 3 times a day, and for you now it doesn't make sense because you've stretched the string and you understand that you're not longer missing food. Now you're missing water and some juice, and just keep that string stretched as much as you can, and it won't ever go back to being, I don't know how you call this, like a reset position string, It won't. It just won't. So, am I alone? Everyone here can support each other. Leslie is going to create a WhatsApp group. A WhatsApp is like the type of application that we can correspond, messages. The WhatsApp groups are really active. Usually it's 1 or 2 people that are more active. You're going to talk about whatever goes through your mind, whatever you're feeling. I tried to do with the Holland group a Skype meeting, but only 5 people showed up. I can do a Skype meeting with you guys in about a week. It can be a Skype conversation. It's called a Google Hangout, also possible. Everybody writes, I answer questions. I can tell you ahead of time, you're going to go through approximately the same difficulties. Some of you are going to be hungry a little bit, and it will come in waves, and it will slowly disappear. But you have to really keep with it, you know? You're going to go through some self-judgment, and that's also completely normal. Mind games. Wait a second. I already proved myself. I've been a month without anything and I feel great and I'm light. Why don't I eat? What is stopping me? Why shouldn't I? But my mom comes every year to Israel. It's a really important occasion and she cooks the best stuff that I always liked from my childhood and it smells so good. Why don't I join them? Oh, this Christmas table is amazing and all my cousins are here. It's a big celebration. I feel bad. I'm outside of it. And just think about it. These mind games are they haven't started yet. But you're going to go through this many times a day, for months maybe. And slowly you might build a resistance. Now you notice, if you know your path, and you choose this path, then it's easier for you to stay on this path. You don't see anything else. When you become a vegetarian, you enter the supermarket, it's like you don't see the meat. The meat doesn't exist anymore for you. The same thing with the Breatharian. Suddenly you go to the juice stand, you don't like, oh my God, people eat that? And oh, I remember this from a long time memory. I used to eat that as well. And you're going to forget, like you forgot how to be hungry. But you're also going to judge. You're going to judge humanity. You're going to judge that everything is about food. Every time somebody entertains you in their house, every time you go to a meeting at work, everything is really about food, and you are the only one around you that has this concept of what it is for you, a special, unique pioneer of this way of life. And it's still socially unacceptable, which is still socially unacceptable. So prepare yourself to that. You don't have to represent anything but yourself. But you will judge the human race because people are dying from hunger. And it's hard to understand that they don't really need to die from hunger right now. And there's nothing you can do about it right now except be yourself and show as an example and wait for the frequency and the vibration of this awareness and understanding to expand. It is expanding. It's a natural process, but it takes time. You wanted to add something?
Yes, I wanted to add that because I went through this process quite a few times. In my case, my problem was not judging the other people because I was accepting them how they were. My problem is to judge myself because I wanted to still have something that my mind was telling me that I was not allowed anymore to take. And this is, I think, the most difficult judgment to deal with. And huh?
I don't understand. Self-judgment.
Self-judgment. Because you might still want something, because you might have something in front of you, and
A dish.
anything, doesn't matter. And you, exactly, and you really want this, and then you're judging yourself. You're saying, no, I'm not supposed to this, and I think this is for me, and that's why I think probably some of you will go through the same thing. That's actually the trigger, what in my case always made me come back, is self-judgment. And the only thing I can tell you guys is that just embrace that.
What's the problem? You're just eating it, you're being happy?
You can do that also. It's depending on what you want, you know. Like if you completely say this is not my path and I want to go to this path, then it's fully okay. But I'm just saying for the people who want to keep going on this path, just for the people who want to keep going on this path, and then they self-judge themselves because they feel like
Okay, but
It will exist, but then we have resets. That's why I recommend always have this one time a week, 24-hour dry fast. And your body will remember. And it's easier because it becomes a habit. So whatever it is, maybe in the weekend you drank more because you felt I have some more time, maybe I'll make 2 shakes. And then afterwards you just have the reset. You say, oh, you know something? I feel good either way. If I eat, if I don't eat, it's a mind game. Yeah.
In that time, it might be important to remind ourselves motivations.
Yes.
Our original motivation, and think about the good aspects.
Definitely. I will remind you the advantages of being a breatharian. Much more hours to do whatever it is that you want to do. Independency, health, clarity, light-bodiness, everything that you have felt up to now. The physical body has a lot of advantages, okay, a lot of advantages. The self-healing is becoming a dominant thing in your life. You will always have more energy, and these are just some of the advantages. Some other advantages will open up to you, like for Leslie and I with the cold and the heat, that we don't really feel it in the same way anymore. The more energy, but for me, the enjoyment of the extra hours, it's amazing. I do whatever, like I go to work, I'm one of the first ones there. I don't eat lunch, so I write that I work another hour, and I leave 2 hours earlier than everyone else. So I do a full work day, and I finish at 4 o'clock, and in Israel to finish at 4 o'clock, it's like, what are you, on holiday? So just think about that, and what can we do in that spare time? Anything that you wanted to do until now. Everything, all the exercises we talked about, what makes me really happy. Today who reminded me that I like to play ping pong. I forgot how much fun it is to play ping pong. Like as a small kid, we used to play a lot. And it's like, yeah, this is one of the things. I want a ping pong table in my house, and I want a sauna. Maybe when I'll have a house. So whatever it is that you want, I do recommend at least one of these hours for work. The spiritual work, meditation, yoga, 5 Tibetans, Falun Gong, whatever it is that you can take and make into a good habit. And you will feel good with it because it's a gift that you're giving to yourself. We feel bad when we're neglecting our body. We always tell ourselves, oh, but I really wanted to do this habit. I really wanted to use my physical body more. And I'll tell you what I taught Pranini outside. 2,000 years ago, we were collectors, we were hunters, we were moving with the body all the time. We were working with the body, we were moving water from the well to the house. We were lifting up our small children while we were doing stuff. We were working in the garden. We were all the time using our body. And today, we're in the office most of the time. And we're moving from the car. We park the car and we say to ourselves, oh, my parking space is so far away, you know. And I have to walk all the way there. It's like, but this is a beautiful gift. And once you start using it, you know, you dust yourself off and you start using the body, you see that you want more. You become addicted to physical activity, to moving, to walking, to dancing, to everything. And it's never too late to begin a new habit. And that's why we do this reset, that's why we do the 5 Tibetans every morning, so we get into this new habit. So, maybe make some connections here, and if you are having a difficulty, you can talk with a friend from here. Go share once every few days, talk, chat, have a conversation about what's going through your mind, your body, how are people in your life accepting it, if you decided to tell them. Make like the body system. The WhatsApp will be available. Leslie is really the prana mama. She's like always checking up what's up with everybody, who's feeling bad, who's feeling good. And remember, it's a personal responsibility. You choose to be here. Many times some people say, but Ray, you promised me this and you promised that. I don't want to promise anything. Like, I'm just showing the door. There's an individual level. There's the DNA, there's the resistance. There's so many different variables. I see some people are having a difficult time after that. I tell them, support yourself. Drink more shake or more fibers. And go up. When you see your body feels good, try to reduce again. And see how much you can get. I know for me it's really easy because I started with like a really long fast, but my body was a little bit traumatized. I felt for a few weeks I was still weak, and I was walking upstairs and my legs were not strong yet, but I was holding on. I was telling to myself, okay, maybe drink a little more. Play with it. You know, there's a certain percentage of energetic intake that you are in. Now, those of you that want to go to the next level, I don't know, I would wait 2 or 3 months only then do a blood test. May feel good with the results, see that it's okay. Don't do the blood test before, because you might like panic from the results, because your body is still going through transition. And after that, try to slowly reduce. I know only one woman that drank only water with mint leaves for a year. She was really skinny, but she felt amazing. And she said, yeah, it was amazing. And she went back directly to food. Because of her family had she built up resistance over a year. Her family was judging her a lot. When I talked to her, I asked her, so why did you go back? She said, wow, it was my mom and everybody was judging me and they said, you look really bad. I felt great, but I couldn't handle it anymore. I just couldn't handle it anymore. It was difficult for me. So she kept it inside for a whole year, and that's why it explodes. And also, some of you are going to have this thing that, oh, I started eating, so I'm gonna eat a lot, I'm gonna just get it out of the system. It's an emotional issue, and I don't have a thumb solution for it.
Who told me? You. She told me about the woman that has a very nice technique about when the emotion comes up. That you first ask yourself, okay, when was the last time I got this emotion? Then probably you get another picture of a few days or of a week before. And then when this pops up, you just ask yourself again, okay, when was the first time I got this emotion? And then probably some childhood memories come up and all that, and that's probably a way of dealing with it.
That's nice. I like that. That's good. In order to remember everything that we did here, especially this is going to be recorded, it's going to be the integration, Malaga, Spain, whatever. See this video again. Remind yourself again. All the workshops, everything they did that has content in it is going to be uploaded, and I'm going to send you a document with the Falun Gong link and the 5 Tibetans, and then you can find these things, but remind yourself of what you did here, because from the point of motivation, which is now, we begin to forget. The longer time passes, the more we forget about what we learned and who we were in that time. And we easily go back to our old habits. So remind yourself, be conscious of it. So from which red flags do I need to be to start looking at myself and thinking, wait a second, is something wrong? If you begin to eat every day, and I'm not talking about the first month and a half, 2 months, I'm talking about after. You begin eating on a day-to-day basis, ask yourself, is this really what you want? Because eating on a day-to-day basis will get you back to thinking, wait a second, is my body nourished from this? And maybe I'm beginning to be hungry, and then only thinking about that will make the body begin to be nourished from that and making you being nourished from that. And then eventually the body will get used to it and you will become hungry again. And that means that you're misbalancing. And like we said, just about consciousness and awareness. The second thing is to think that I'm starting to feed myself from shakes. Remember, you've been drinking juices and you will see that your weight is going to go down and then it's going to balance, and then slowly it will go up to what we call an ideal weight. You will see that from the little bit that you're putting into your body, you're actually adding more weight, and it will be weird for you. Sometimes you will lose, sometimes you will add. Don't think and believe that the juices and the shakes are the ones that you're being fed from. Maybe a small part. Yeah? Remember that. Because if you start saying, okay, maybe I need another shake, and then you will replace dinner with a shake instead, or morning with a shake, and that's not breatharian. That's a juicer, a person a liquidarian. So they actually have to balance everything, and they have to have meals and everything. That's not you anymore. You don't need to do all that stuff. Honesty with yourself. In order to avoid these resistances, honesty with yourself. Tell yourself, okay, right now I'm feeling bad. I want to go emotionally drink, emotionally eat. That's fine, that's great. Sometimes say yes. Other times say no. The beauty is sometimes you say yes, and then you find out that you can't really do it because you don't have a juicing machine, or you don't have something. And then you're like, oh, I said yes, I passed the test. And then it actually is a no. But it's important because you will learn how to say no, and it's okay to say no. You will say no to many different things. See how you feel with it. Can you visualize sitting with your family in a big table in a holiday and you're by yourself pretty much. You're like, yeah, you're drinking something small, you're putting your cup of tea or your soup in the middle, so you feel like you're eating with them, and they are judging you. They're saying, Pranini, you look bad, man. You look whiter than ever. Are you feeling okay? What happened to you? And for women it's even harder, because if they're skinny, then it's immediately, society thinks that it has to do with their weight and the way they see themselves. So that's even worse. So I still recommend don't put anything in the morning after now, yeah, to avoid the old habits. Once you put something in the system, the whole factory starts working. Whole factory. Okay, it can be the smallest thing. That's why I say not morning, even not in the noon. Do something in the evening. You will feel it. Once you put something in, you will want more. It's like something opens up. It's always the first bite creates the second bite, the third bite. So avoid the first bite in the beginning, and you will see, if you're doing it in the morning, you will want something at noon. If you're doing it at noon, you will want something in the evening. If you're doing it only in the evening, then the body will reset itself during the sleep, and then you will wake up in the morning resetted, empty. And we like this emptiness. We felt this emptiness, this light, this clarity. That's the empty. Because when the body digests even the smallest of things, then it takes energy from the consciousness. It's off, right?
Yes.
It's a warm day.
Yeah, please.
It's a pool. It's a pool day.
Pool day.
Great. So
Yeah.
no food, no solid food till dinner. What about in the
No,
morning?
also liquids. Nothing, if you can.
Sorry?
Nothing. Not in the morning. Nothing.
No water, no
No.
juice?
You don't need anything at all. Yeah. Get in the habit of empty. Empty is good. And when you get used to it, you like it. And you will see that you're putting something in your body in the evening because you're resting. It's the end of the day. You feel like sitting with a cup of tea or with juice or whatever, or enjoying the ceremony.
But today we had juice in the morning.
Today is the 10-day process. I'm talking about afterwards, the integration. Here it's a part of our enjoyment, after the 4-day dry fast. Here it's just for our pleasure. But also, first thing in the morning, I didn't want you guys to have any, only after the 5 Tibetans, Yeah, that's a general recommendation. Not in the morning. You will see. Some days try to do in the morning, you will see exactly what I told you is truth. You want more, and you will feel like you're a little bit more grounded, like something's going on. It's the energy that moves from the digestive system that takes about 25% of your energy to the consciousness. The brain is more free. So, emotional substances. So sometimes you will say, oh, I really feel like going to the refrigerator and making myself something, the programming. And I say, wait a second, I'm programmed to do this. I'm bored. What's going on with me? How am I feeling right now? And maybe find a substitute for that. For example, go for a walk with your dog. Have a phone call with somebody. Do whatever you reminded us to do, which is a nice exercise. So you're like, wait, why am I feeling like this? Oh yeah, when I was born, I cried, and then somebody took out a titi with a lot of great milk, and the emotional connection was made between feeling bad and food and nourishment, And it's a heavy connection. You have now been released from the heaviest addiction you didn't even think you were addicted to, and society does not think of it as addicted. By the way, you can continue with non-smoking now, because once you get rid of not eating, smoking is much easier. And like I said, avoid the first cigarette. That's the simplest thing.
I was thinking by myself, I possibly will more easily go back to eating than to smoking. So this would be the benefit for me.
Yeah.
Because I have to say, you're talking about feeling good and body strength, which is obviously a state you are in, but I cannot relate to it right now. If I'm still in a weakness,
I know.
and if I think I have to carry my 25 kilo backpack in this condition, for example, this is I can't do it. Go 10 meters.
Don't worry, every day you're going to become stronger.
Yeah, it's just from this point I cannot relate so much to feeling so much
I understand.
benefit from the process. I felt it already, this lightness, as I told you, but physically or something, it's like I couldn't.
You're gonna get stronger.
Anything.
you're gonna get stronger. You can also tell them you went through 3 processes. Every day you become stronger. You're just in the first day. And I'm talking about not like now. I'm talking about a few weeks from now, a few months from now, you know, everything that's going to come. The integration is about not from here in the next few days. Like you see, yesterday you felt really weak, and today a little bit stronger, and tomorrow you're going to be even stronger. You'll be able to make longer walks, and everything's going to go back to normal. For some, it's after a week, full body strength. For some, after a few weeks. You know, some I would recommend to drink a little bit more, just to support it in the beginning. It's also the belief, but also it's the physical body. It's just not used to it. So in the beginning you can put more physical nourishment, and afterwards reduce it if that is what you want. And some of you will find the balance really quickly. After a month, 2 months, you'll say, okay, I enjoyed whatever it is, this amazing process. I went through a month that is different from anything else that I learned in my life, and now I wish to eat. And I know some of my Breatharian friends, they eat every day, something small in the evening. Some don't. They could really play around with it, and each one finds his own balance. But my purpose here is not to tell you, don't eat. Eat. It's one of life's enjoyment. I learned it the hard way. I was one of those that said, no, I don't want anything. And I was like a horse that they put these limits. So I said, a year, I don't want anything. I just want some liquids. I want to be on the minimum. I want to prove to myself. And when you say to yourself, a year, then something changes in your mind and you say, wow, you know something, if a year I went without all of that stuff, I don't really need it. So now my brain, my belief system says, eat whatever you want. The body will throw most of it away. You're not digesting most of it. You're using only a little bit of that. Most people are like that, but they haven't gone through the reset. The reset is the thing that purifies the body, and then you don't need to get hungry. You know, you don't reach that level of so much toxin buildup. Yes, Ella?
But you also said that when we eat the first time, you said everyone around you, according to the statistics, go back to eating. But you're talking about after some time, right?
Yes, and I'm not talking about going back to eating normally. Once you had physical food, afterwards you want physical food.
Okay, what is the time to wait so we can
I say
safe?
Minimum month and a half.
Okay, and that's more or less flexible, like less,
Yes.
6 weeks.
Yes, exactly. I did it after 1 year, my friend did it after 3 years. And it all depends on your journey if you wish to continue in this lifestyle. Because, you know, apart from the food, it's about the journey itself. It's about keeping, how do you say this? That when you know that you have a certain habit and you keep this habit and you learn how to trust yourself because you're a person that has a word and says something and it makes it happen. You know, you believe in yourself a lot more. And you also learn how to say no. And you also learn that things are not as they appear scientifically. And you understand a lot about the human programming and the subconscious and how you changed your own belief system. So if you change that belief system, what else can you change that you're believing in now that is impossible? You know? It's about the water, it's about the sleeping, it's about you as a human being, it's about this reality. It brings up so many questions in other people and in yourself that suddenly you begin to get more answers because your light body is stronger and your connection with your guides is stronger and your vibration is higher. So your manifestation ability is much higher as well.
In terms of getting your energy back,
Yes.
is it wise to have extra walks or to...
Yes. It's wise to use the body. It's wise to do the Tibetans or other exercises, whatever. In the beginning it's a little bit harder, and after that you see that you're coming back to shape. You do 10 push-ups, like today, you guys were amazing today. Usually, most of the groups in the first day after, a lot of people break and say, I'm too exhausted, it hurts. Everybody did it today. You know, it's a surprise.
It's
How
true.
about?
The Tibetans are no problem.
Yes.
The walking is so difficult.
Now, yeah. The how do you call this muscle? It's the hardest, the quad, yeah.
But it's really, I could even do, what do you say?
Bend the knees.
Mhm.
Bending.
This was also no problem.
But walking is still a problem.
Amazing. Like just from the pool here, I was like, oh my god, it's so weird. Then I went into the shade, I did knee bends, and it was like 10. I was like, I could do another 10. But what? Yeah, anyway, it's just my.
It's interesting.
It's really interesting.
I think it will pass pretty quickly.
But you said you had it a few weeks, no?
Yeah, well, it was difficult, but I still did it.
Yeah.
Meaning walking up the stairs to my apartment, I felt the muscles are like after a good workout that you feel like you're a little exhausted. So I felt like that for a few weeks, but I did the 21 day, and it's more difficult for the body. It's a 3-week fast, and you're by yourself, so there's no group energy. Yeah, it's a little different. It's really good to continue with some of the breathing exercises. That's why we're doing the breathing exercise together. I can also feel that some of you are going into a meditation, which is great. They always coexist, you know? Try to breathe deeply and fully. If you will talk to me normally, like a one-on-one, you will notice that I'm breathing really, really like long breaths, especially when I'm conscious about them. And every time you are bored, every time you're in a street light, every time you're talking with somebody that's not interesting at work, just breathe. Really, it's amazing. You say, oh, I'm bored. Wait. You just start breathing, going into it, and you see, wow, you're slowly feeling more calm and more blissful, and you're bringing more energy into your body, but it is not necessary. Not necessary. You will see that once you go through enough of it, it becomes a habit, and you don't need a breathing exercise anymore because you are already breathing like that. It's natural to you. It will extend your life.
One thing.
Yep.
Would you still recommend to do some special cleaning stuff, like level cleansing?
No, you don't need it anymore. Yeah. Once you put X amount of calories into your body, under that, the body always cleans itself. Always.
And if you put too much, you just reset.
Yeah, exactly. And some of you have a belief that superfoods are amazing, so take superfoods. It will be good for you. And some of you don't have this belief, so don't.
I
You know?
support the belief.
I support the belief. Also, yeah. Feel it. Use the energy workshop, the things that we tested, to see if it makes you stronger. Some things you're going to hold and you're going to feel like, wow, it's so strong, like it's really good for me. And some things are going to be bad for you, so don't do them. But it also has to do with your belief about, yeah, exactly. So the first 2 days or 3 days, stay resting, you know, after the process. Unless you feel good, and if you feel really good, just do with it. Don't go exactly immediately back to your old way of life, you know, everything that you did. Take the time. Also contact your friends. Don't rush into it. Take the time, rest. Everything, the magic word here is gradual. Everything needs to be gradual. Just like with the juice, we gradually introduce less and less water. So it becomes more just about the juice. And don't forget that the fruit itself is already between 50 and 90% water. So you're actually drinking like 3-4% juice. And everything else is just water. And look how amazing it makes you feel with just 3-4% juice. The flavor, the taste, everything.
Do we, to some extent, need it?
Yes, a little bit.
We do.
In this phase.
In this phase.
And those of you that wish to go to the next,
Yeah.
I would suggest to do it only after the body has recalibrated, like in 3 months or something like that.
Yeah.
But I can also tell you that I didn't do more than 3-4 weeks on just water in that time, and I saw that my weight is not changing, and I saw that I feel good, and still I went back to juice or shakes or whatever because I just wanted to see. Yeah.
Do we stay at 20% juice?
No. Even when we leave here, you're already drinking 100% juice. Today it's already 50-50 in the evening. Yeah. But you feel the taste, right? It tastes almost like the regular juice you drink. Great. So gradual exposure to people and family. Really recommended to do the physical work. It can be unpleasant. Some cleansing, you know, the major cleansing has been done, but still, some people will feel a little bit here in the liver, some people will feel a little bit in the back. The body is still cleaning itself, even if we finished with the hardcore stuff. It's really gradually, and it's all completely okay, you know, unless you're dying, heartbeat, and you guys didn't go through that, you know. I saw that you guys, most of you guys were really okay. If it becomes really, really bad, then I would seek medical attention. But it has never happened. I'm telling you that because I have to tell you that. You know, I can't tell you, stay at home, you know, not everything is going to be okay. It never happened, but I guess if you feel really, really bad, maybe drink something more, you know, drink a shake maybe, or because the juicer really should be enough. Yeah.
Doctor will make you worry.
The doctor will make you worry even more. Yeah, I have a recording of my first conversation with my doctor after my process. She didn't understand. Like she said, okay, she gave me some pills. I don't remember why I was there. I was there for being tested. She gave me some pills and she told me, you know, the blood test, please don't eat before that. So I laughed a little bit, you know, because, you know, please fast before that. I was like, okay. She gave me something to take and she said, take it with food. And I was like, okay, how do I take this now? I just took it with the juice. Like, what can you do?
I studied medicine. I mean, really, to avoid doctors is really the best.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, because they're not trained to keep you healthy.
No.
To make you sick.
In China, I understand they're trying to keep you healthy. Yeah. You pay your doctor by how much you're healthy
Yes.
and not by how much you get sick. Yeah, it's pretty cool. If you get sick, then you don't pay your doctor.
I mean, honestly,
That's
I
cool,
don't
that's
think
an
that this is
incentive.
still everywhere.
I guess not, yeah. Just like the one-child law is also
Yeah.
not really everywhere.
But it's an incentive to change.
Now remember, you did something really huge here. Before you came to the process, you said, oh my God, this is big. And now, like many things in your life, you know, you climb the Himalaya and you're going to be afterwards. This is something really big. Think about how big it is for you and for people to understand, and for this type of lifestyle to go on, you can say, and be integrated into humanity. Because you don't have to affect people by saying anything. You just need to be. And you will see that some people around you, without saying anything, they're going to eat less. Okay, I had relationships, they didn't understand, but suddenly they're not hungry because your vibration is so high that you're nourishing the people around you. And if one time we went down to Sinai, 3 Breatharians and 3 eaters, and the 3 eaters were like, they didn't want anything all the time. They looked at us and said, I don't feel comfortable eating even, and I don't feel like it, you know. It was really cool. And making love, also the people that you're going to make love with, they're going to get a part of your energy. So it also means that your partners or whoever you're with, they're also going to get this energy. They will feel like they don't feel like eating. And it's pretty cool that you can just move it. Yeah.
To tell also, you know.
Yeah. Come with me, I'll give you a free diet.
A lightweight diet.
If you do feel hunger, and some of you will, let it be. Remember that hunger is a sensation, okay? It's a type of feeling, of a remembrance. Let it be. Let it ride the wave. Don't eat, don't drink, ride the wave. Let it pass. If you see that it doesn't pass for a very long time and it's still in the same frequency on a day-to-day basis, maybe drink a little bit more juice. Remember, just listen to yourself. You know all the answers. There's no real agenda. You know, there's no real good schedule that fits everybody. For some people, they will want to go half a year without anything. Some people want to immediately find their balance. You know, their mind game will be, oh, I did it, now I want to find balance quickly. Or, oh, I did it, I don't want to be a breatharian, and we'll resist, and then we'll go back to their old habits. Like, it's really about listening to yourself, and you have most of the answers, you know. It's all here inside. I can't tell you the quantities and how much, like today only one person asked me how much juice can we drink, which is, I'm really happy that only one person asked me that. Drink whatever you want, you know, you'll feel it. You will see that if you're down taking 2 liters of juice, you're drinking, you won't feel full. If you enjoy the taste, great, take small sips, enjoy it, you know. In a later stage, you will maybe want more. That's fine also. All is good, you know. It's really good to enjoy the smell. Like if you see that you're with your family and everybody's eating, enjoy only the smell, you know. Visualize this, how enjoyable just smell can be. And when you make that disconnection in your mind, you see that you won't feel the, how do you say it, like the saliva that usually comes. Because it's disconnected, then you just enjoy the smell. And when somebody passes something, then you can grab it and go, pass it on, and they'll be like, ah, that's raised a cuckoo. But you're like, oh yeah, I feel it in my body. Now losing weight, and this is a tough one. We're going to lose weight, some of us. Some are going to stop immediately after this. and it's normal and it's acceptable. And the more we resist this, and the more we judge this, the harder it will be, and we might even lose more weight. Once you accept that maybe you're looking like a guy from India, and it's okay because you're feeling alive and vivid, and people can see that you have this energy, and then you will immediately stop, and you will go back and what we call ideal weight. So you lose, and then bottom, and then slightly up. Now, it's individual. I know some people are really skinny here. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it will fix the skinniness. I know that working out, adding some muscle tissue, really helps the body take more energy and really builds the body much more.
Should we be aware of some time, or like we should lose more than that, or not lose weight?
No, I can tell you that people that enter the process that are already on the minimum, they don't go down more. The body doesn't allow you to go down more than what you are. It will let you be in the minimum of minimum, and then everything you put inside it, it will use, just like a baby. Babies can eat whatever they want, and everything will immediately become like energy. So I also was really skinny for a while and took a few months, but you guys, the 10-day process is much supportive of this, and most people, after a few weeks, they already see that they're gaining the weight they lost.
So it's also a kind of reset.
Yes, yeah, and you really go back to ideal weight. You can't really be fat. Like the body doesn't need it, so it will first eat everything that you have. And then you see like me, I'm about 10% fat, which is not thin, not big. I'm just like, yeah.
I'd like to know, really, how do you explain that? Say if we keep drinking every day about the same amount of energy intake, like 2 glasses of juice, how can it turn out to gain weight?
My assumption is that the body has the pranic energy. It takes so much from that and so little from the juice that the little leftover is being stored. And I would tell you, don't drink just 2 glasses a day, drink as much as you want. Like feel it, and after a while you'll see that you want to support it with more. To Shana yesterday I said, maybe you should begin with something thicker, just to add some weight back, because now your body, the pranic energy is already open completely, and that means that if she adds a little bit more, then he will take much more of that to store,
Like half juice, half milkshake?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Something with a little bit more fiber, or something with a little bit more energy. It's good when,
You're saying for most people in general, they will lose weight for the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yes. Yeah. And then someday it will stop, and you'll be amazed. Someday you'll be only on water, and you'll add weight. You'll be like, I don't understand how this works, But play around with it, yeah. Okay, even if we did lose a lot of weight, and some people don't see us eating, and they immediately, they will immediately say something about that. Prepare yourself to that, They will think you have a sort of eating disorder, and you can't really explain to them that this is just a time in between. You have to be strong with yourself. Some people are like dogs smell fear, Don't let them smell that you care. Care about yourself. You know yourself. You love yourself. You know what your journey is. You know what you committed yourself to. Just be with that. And then they won't smell the fear, and then they won't say anything anymore. Don't fight them. Don't go head to head. That never works. You will feel bad with it. You will feel that you're not being understood. Just say, yeah, you saw me, some of you saw the 8 days I did on television. You saw how the doctor explained things to me, and you saw how the television guy explained things to me. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. There's nothing much I can say. Let's just wait and see, and I feel good. You look wonderful today. It's you can't argue. Like, why would you even waste your energy in arguing? It's not about right or not right. It's just about I am what I am, and this is what I believe, and nothing can move me from that. It's really good to also just say to people, give me 2-3 months. Give me a while like this in my craziness. Don't worry, I feel good. Give me 2 or 3 months, and after 2 or 3 months, maybe it'll be better, and they'll get used to it. All this. It really depends what you believe, what you create, what you manifest. It's not about what others, but sometimes their own projections affect us. Just don't panic. know and understand, and everything is really accurate in your path, for your own path, for your own teachings here. You know, if you're going through a difficult time, you are manifesting a difficult time to go through. It can be easier if you choose it. Just like here, some people had a more difficult time. Some people had a more difficult time and they didn't understand why they had more difficult time. And then they had some resentment, and then they had a little jealousy, and then they had self-judgment about their past. Wait a second, in my past, did I smoke? Did I eat anything wrong? No, I was all good all the time. So why am I going through a more difficult time than other people here? Think about that. You're the creators of your own reality, and always focus on what you want. So this is enough for today's session. It's all recorded, don't worry. I really recommend viewing it again. The other people from other groups view it again. I know there's a lot of information, a lot of little tips and tricks that we collected during our lifetime. Try to remember most of them and view this video again. And we'll reconvene again today at 5:30, and we'll have another session. I think tomorrow we're going to the market, right? To the flea market. And I think maybe we will want afterwards, because probably most people will want to go, maybe we'll stop by the beach and sit a little bit or something. So maybe we'll make this only at 2 o'clock or something like that. We'll see in the morning. And we're going to meet here tomorrow morning half an hour earlier. Sababa? At 8. And I know it's dark, so all of you wake up. Responsibility. Yeah? Great. So we'll meet here at 5:30, same like today. Breathing exercise in silent, meditation, sharing circle. Excellent. Does anyone have any more questions? Today? Oh yeah, we said, but she's not here. I think she's not feeling she's a little bit weak.
5:30 is good.
5:30 is good, yeah, okay.
What are we going to do? 5:30?
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. You don't know it from Pinky and the brain? Brain. Yeah, the animals. Peter, you're the only one that understands me.
Excuse me, do you have the movie Song of the New Earth?
Which one?
Song of the New Earth?
No. You want me to try and download it?
Well,
Song of the New Earth?